This podcast was created on Messy. Create your own show today at messy.fm.
Welcome to Girls Like Us podcast. Welcome to Girls Like Us podcast.
94% of women who are raped experience symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, during the first 2 weeks following the rape. You can find this at rain.com.
Welcome back. Welcome to Girls Like Us. This is Venus.
And Charlotte.
And before we start, I'm very excited to say that our first episode will be out tomorrow.
Yay!
Which is July 25th. We're a couple episodes behind. But I'm very, very, very excited.
Yes, we're doing it.
Yes. So, how was your weekend?
My weekend was actually great. I went out of town to hang out with the family. We all got together, partied like rock stars. So much fun. Like, it was way too fast, but it seemed long at the same time.
I bet. I don't think you could ever get enough of partying.
Yeah, no, definitely not. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. Definitely.
That's good. I had a business lunch Saturday. It was so hot here. It was so hot. Like,
it was hot out there.
Was it?
Yes.
It was so hot here.
Yes.
I tried doing a good deed and it failed terribly. So I was angry about that. And then other than that, I was just with my best friend, and because my cousin's selling tacos. So that's what I ate all weekend.
Like, yeah, I can definitely go. I'll never get tired of tacos. I love tacos.
Yeah, that is what I ate all weekend. And other than that, it was so hot. All I did Sunday was sleep all day because I think the heat from Saturday just
drained you. Right.
Yes,
definitely
I slept till 5 o'clock, and then my best friend's like, wake up. And I was like, why do I need to be up? It is so hot out.
Right.
And other than that, I did nothing.
Nothing that's good, though. Nothing that's relaxing. Yes. So I'm fine with nothing sometimes.
What are your plans for this weekend? Where in the world are you taking us to now?
This weekend, I'm not going anywhere. This weekend, I'll be pretty sad. My fella's going to the military, so I'm definitely going to have, separation anxiety for sure, because that's my baby. So I'm not looking forward to that at all. Dreading it.
He's leaving too soon.
He is.
I feel like he just graduated yesterday.
Exactly. And I kept asking him, hey, push it back to the end of the year. And he was like, no. I even called the recruiter and be like, hey, he's not ready.
He's such a mom.
They're like, well, he needs to tell us that. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Ma'am, he's an adult.
Right. He keeps telling us he's ready to go. And I'm like, this is so unfair. Definitely not ready at all. My baby is leaving the nest,
you're a single.
Yeah.
Out here partying at all.
I don't know how to act without him.
You already don't know how to act.
This is just going to add to the mess.
Yes. I'm going to be 3 in the morning. Sorry, where you at?
Yes, that's crazy.
Yes.
I'm not prepared. Not whatsoever, am I? So.
I think how long is he going to be gone for?
3 months.
Maybe the first month will be the hardest, just because 18 years of always being him.
And being able to call him or something, being with no contact, just mail. And the type of kid that he is, I'm not really sure how many letters I will be receiving.
Just you write him. It's okay. You write him.
So yeah, it's gonna be really, really weird. When I walk past his room and him not being there, it's gonna be weird. So.
I'm sad for you. That's not even
this is insane. I've never had him to 3 months with no contact. It wouldn't be so bad if I would be able to call him or something on the phone and be like, hey, are you okay? Let me hear your voice. Make sure you're good.
They should at least get a phone call a day. Jail people can call.
Exactly.
Like, they should be able to get calls.
Right. I think it's a matter of probably trying to break them so they'll be prepared if they were to be out there.
That's true, because I know if they, depending on the area that they get sent to and where they get sent to, sometimes they can call, and I can't even imagine being that far away from your family, because even though you're staying here and he's away from you, you still have your family, and they're out there by themselves, so it's a lot of mentalness.
Yeah.
So I guess I can understand with them.
Right. Exactly. Like, why did my child choose? Oh, I want to do the military. Like, what? All the things he could have chosen. Like, why this? So, yeah.
Like, you could have gone to the moon if you chose to.
Right. He's so intelligent. I'm like, why not just go away to school? Like, but no. Yep.
Now, what can we do?
Yeah. I'm putting it in God's hands. That's all I can do at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think he'll be really, really good. I think he'll be really, really good.
Yes.
I have nothing planned for this weekend.
What?
I really don't.
I'm surprised.
I'm surprised. I have to go over a couple numbers for my other project, so maybe that's what I'm gonna sit down and do. And clean, which I've been cleaning for like years now.
You sound like me.
I really want to go downtown. That's what I really, really want. I think I had something planned this weekend, and I'm forgetting about it. But
Probably.
I really wanted to go downtown and just be with myself. You know, I don't like people. But I really don't have anything planned. I might be overlooking something.
Sounds boring.
I'll wait till you see me.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Sometimes nothing is good though. You need time to relax and unwind. So
yes, after, and like I feel like life has been just like
it has.
That I need like a week off. Maybe a month off will be good, but I think that's pushing it.
I definitely feel you on that, because I feel like this next month, my whole month, I think of weekends, it's gonna be pretty full.
Oh, look at you partying.
No,
but I'm sitting here crying because my son's sleeping and you already got.
Well, I know, but I'm trying to keep occupied. That's the best way to get through this, is to stay like busy. So because it's the downtime that is really gonna hit me.
Yeah.
So as long as I'm staying busy, it shouldn't be that bad. But that's the only way I can get through things, is staying busy.
That's how it goes.
That's exactly. It's the idle mind. That's when you get to think too much.
True. That's true, because when I broke up with my ex, I think this was the first time that I didn't sit around waiting for like her to come back, waiting for her to be done with whoever she was with. And I just kept it I got up and I kept it moving, and I was just like, I'm so busy now that I'm like, when am I not busy?
Yes, it becomes the new norm.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's get into today's episode.
Yes.
So, survivor, a person who survives, especially a person remaining alive after an event in which others have died. Today we will be talking about the day after the events that happened. Do you want to start?
Oh, you can go ahead. I started first last time, so it's all on you today, Eunice.
Let's see. The day after this happened, leading up to where we left the apartment, I couldn't find my car. I can't tell you how long it took me to find my car, but I remember I was about to cry, because I'm like, did someone steal my car, or what happened? Driving home, I remember just telling myself, just make sure you get home, even if you're an hour late for work. Let yourself sleep. I got home and I parked the car and I fell asleep, but I didn't feel myself falling asleep. I only woke up because the person that owns the coffee shop, the girl that works there, knocked on my window. I don't know if she thought I was dead. I don't know if she thought, because I think it's 7 or 9, you can't park there. At that time, it was already 7:30. And I went in and I'm I'm going to sleep for 30 minutes. but I had never felt the need to have to sleep. And I went in, and I remember messaging my boss, and I'm like, I'm running late, like, I'm gonna be there, I'm late, like. And I remember going to the bathroom and saying, if I make myself throw up, I'm gonna be fine. Because I rarely get hangovers, and it has never been to the point where I can't function. Like, I'll be sick, but I'm not throwing up. If I eat, I'm fine. And I couldn't make myself throw up, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to go up and sleep for like half an hour. And I set my alarm for half an hour. I didn't hear it. I don't remember. I remember getting up there, but I don't remember laying down. And the next time I woke up, it was 11:30. And I tried getting myself up again, because I remember looking at my phone, and I had messages from you. I had messages from my best friend. At that time, I still had communication with my ex, so I had messages from her. I had missed calls from like 1,000 people asking me where I was. My boss asking me if I was coming in. And I'm like, they're going to kill me. It is 11:30. They're going to kill me. So I try to get up and drive myself to work, and I call. I think I messaged my best friend back, and you had called my best friend. So she's calling me. She's like, where are you at? And I'm like, I'm fine. Like, why is everybody freaking out? And she's like, Charlotte called me. She, like, sounded so, like, rushed and so, like, scared, and, like, it was just a lot of emotions. And I'm like, I don't know. And I remember her telling me, like, there's something wrong. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, I just passed out. I'm like, and I don't feel good. I'm like, but I ate there, so maybe the chicken wasn't cooked all the way. You know how I am, because she tried poisoning me before. And I got in the car, and I started driving. I drove maybe like 15 minutes, and I'm like, I can't do this. I can't. I really couldn't. And I remember saying, all I want is to go to sleep. And my best friend was like, go to the doctor. Go to the doctor. Something isn't right. And I'm like, I just want to go to sleep. Just let me go to sleep. I called my boss, and according to my phone records, I had a conversation with him, and I had a conversation with the other owner, and I cannot tell you what I said. I can't tell you what I said. I can't tell you the excuse that I gave. I just know that I couldn't make it into work. I came back home, and I started throwing up. I ran into the bathroom, and I remember throwing up black, but it was so foggy and fuzzy that I was just like, I had never felt like this before, ever, and I can drink, so to have eaten and the amount of drink, like, I had never felt like this. And I went upstairs, and the person that I'm dealing with now called, and I'm like, they're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I'm just really tired. I'm like, let me sleep. I'm just really tired. And they're like, are you sure? Like, okay, I'm going to let you sleep for a couple hours. I'm going to call you back, and and I remember saying, wait, I'm throwing up black. So they're like, you need to go to the doctor. You need to go to the doctor. And I was like, I just really want to sleep. I'm like, I was in tears almost, because people wouldn't want to let me sleep. They didn't want to let me sleep. And they're like, okay, go to sleep. I'm going to call you back in a couple hours, and we'll figure it out. I fell asleep. Mind you, this has to be like 12:30. I did not wake up till 4 after this. And that's when I was messaging you. Like, I finally, like, in my head felt okay, but I know I wasn't okay. So I'm messaging you, and you're telling me how you're sick, how you're going to the emergency room, and I'm like, what is going on in the world? Like, right. I had so many messages. So you're telling me you're sick. So I'm like, did you eat? Like, because in my head, it was the food. It was the food, because he's like, did you eat before? I'm like, no, I ate before I got there. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, so it wasn't the food. So in between me messaging you, I'm messaging my best friend, and she's like, you need to go. There's something wrong. I'm messaging my ex. Mind you, I had been with this person for 7 years. So if anybody knows my habits, she knew my habits. So she starts drilling me. How much did you have to drink? What did you drink? What did you eat? So at that point, I'm like, wait, I only had this amount to drink. Why do I feel like this?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, why are you so sick? You only had that to drink. She's like, it sounds like you were drugged. Like, what is going on?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember you telling me, like, I'm going to the doctor. And I'm like, I have to go to the doctor. And I got up and I drove myself to the doctor. And when I got to the doctor, I parked, and as I checked in, I couldn't hold myself up. Like, I was like, the nurse that took me in, I told her, like, I know I've been drugged. I don't remember anything. I blacked out. And she's like, do you think you were sexually assaulted? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't remember. I can't even tell you when I fell asleep. I can't tell you what time I woke up. I remember the sun was up, and it was so weird. But today, the whole day, I cannot stay up. And she told me, she's like, I'm going to call an advocate. She called the police. She's like, are you okay with that? And I was like, do whatever you want to do. Just get me out of bed. I need to sleep. Like, I just wanted to sleep. And that within itself, like, I had never felt to where, like, my brain wasn't letting me stay awake.
Mm-hmm.
Or that I really knew that I was so tired. Because I wasn't tired. I just couldn't stay up.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember calling you and telling me, like, how sick you were. And I'm like, why are we this sick?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I couldn't get it. And honestly, if I would have gone by myself, I would have chalked it up to, like, I ate something bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you probably would.
I would have, and I would have done the whole throw up. Like, I ate something bad, but I think a part of me would have still been like, there was no reason for me to feel that sleepiness. Because even on my worst day, like, no. I've gone out till like 4 a.m. and I still go to work. Like, nothing happened the night before.
Yeah. That is so very true. Like, the feeling was so surreal. Like, it was out-of-body experience.
It was. Like, you know how you see the movies and you see it from their point of view and everything's fuzzy and you're like, that doesn't happen.
Right.
No, like, it was just insane. It was insane. And you went to work.
Yes. I don't even know how. Like, looking back, I don't know how. I just knew I had to be at work because it was a payroll day. So I'm like, my boss is out of town. Like, there is no way around this. There is nobody else to do it. So I have to get there. I was like, I'll be late, but I have to get there. Cause
Did you go to sleep? Or?
No, yeah, I did go to sleep. Like, when I left there, I got the Uber. I took the Uber home. I passed out in the Uber, which is something I don't normally do. I stay up. But I passed out, and the lady was like, we're here. So I was like, I can't, like, just go like this. I need to try to get some more sleep because I'm, like, super out of it. Like, I can barely walk. Like, I'm still staggering and everything, like, feeling so loopy. So I took a nap, and I was like, I set my alarm. I kept hitting the snooze, like, oh, my God, like, I can't. Like, I don't know how I'm about to make it, but I'm about to make it. And I got in the shower, and time I got in the shower, I was jumping out the shower because I had to keep the one up. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm about to make it to work like this in this condition. So I finally got myself together. And I was actually supposed to go out that day. Like, I had reservations and everything. Yeah.
And you had been talking about it.
I've been talking about it for the longest.
Yes.
So I was really, like, mad about that. Like, I had plans. Like, I done bought these tickets for this event. So I'm just like, maybe, like, it'll pass. But I knew something wasn't right because when I got home, I was like, no. The whole evening, like, from what I remember, it wasn't right. And I had texted you, like, hey, like, I'm never going back over there. Like, it's not right. And you never did respond. I'm like, okay, this is weird. She didn't respond. So I actually called my niece and was like, I'm not feeling well. I don't feel right. I keep throwing up. Like, I feel really lightheaded and so forth. And she was like, I'll just send you an Uber so you won't have to drive. I know you have to come in. I was like, no, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it if I have to pull over. I was just like determined. Like, I did pull over. I did bring a bag. So I did actually have to pull over and throw up a couple times. But I was like, I just
out on the expressway. Like,
right.
Y'all be fine.
I have to get here. So my niece did keep checking on me to make sure that I was okay. And she was getting worried because she's like, it's taking too long to get here. But
do you remember how long it took you to get to work?
It seemed like forever. I don't know exactly, but it seemed like forever. But once I did finally get there, I went in the office and I could barely get out the car. And they were looking at me like, what the hell is wrong with her? And I'm just like, I can't function. And my coworker's like, I've never seen like that. And I was like, I feel terrible. Like, I can't barely walk. Like, when I was walking, I was bent. Like, I could not stand up straight. Like, I went straight in the office, literally laid on the floor.
Oh, my God.
I was on the floor at work.
I probably would have done the same thing.
I could not. I couldn't sit up. I could barely stand. So the only thing that I could do was get on. So I couldn't barely talk. Like, I struggled to just say simple stuff. I couldn't answer my phone. Like, I was
remember because our text messages were like so far apart, and usually they're back to back, and it was like 2 p.m. and my answer was like at 4 p.m. and then your answer was like at 6, and our messages were just like horrible.
It was it was. I couldn't my phone was steady ringing. I was like, I can't. I don't even have the energy to answer the phone. And then actually, he called, was like, oh, did you make it to work? And I was like, I'm sick. He was like, oh, last night was lit. Like, no, it wasn't lit. Like, I'm sick. Like, I can barely stand. Kind of dismissed it or whatever. Like, oh, it's nothing. Let's kick it again. I'm like, absolutely not. Like, no. So, as I was there at work on the floor, I still kept throwing up. Like, I kept trying to drink water and stuff to because I knew I was going to get dehydrated at this point. Every time I would take even the slightest sip of it, I was throwing up. Like, I felt so weak. Like, I've never felt like that before, which is insane because I've drunk. Like, I'm not a drinker like that, but I've been drunk. Like, I would be lying if I said I hadn't. And to feel like I felt then, I've never in my life felt like I felt that day. The fact that I felt like I was going to literally pass out, and I almost did pass out, I was like, no, this is not normal by far. And I was like, I'm going to the hospital. And it was my coworker was like, where did you go? I think somebody drugged you. And I was like, I believe they did because I've never felt like this. He was like, you look like death. And I was just like, I feel like death. Like, this is so ridiculous. Like, I was like, I need to go to the hospital. And I did go. And then I called Venus like, hey, I kept calling. She wasn't answering at this time because she was still so passed out. Oh, yes. So it was crazy. When I did get to work, I called her best friend to see, hey, when we left, I seen her face down, her pants down, something happened. I know something happened. I can't tell you exactly what happened, but the fact that I can't remember, things are a blur, please go over there and check on her, please. And she was like, I'm out right now, but as soon as I finish, I'll get over there. And I was like, please do, just let me know, that she's okay, because when I left her, she was messed up. I was messed up. And, I'm here with somebody, but I know she's at the house by herself, so somebody needs to get over there. So after that, getting to the hospital, I told them I believe I was drugged and everything. I, on the other hand, declined I didn't do the rape kit because I was humiliated and embarrassed by the whole situation. Like, even though I know I didn't provoke what happened, I still was very much embarrassed. Like, I can't believe, something like this happened. Like, how do I explain this to the person that I'm with, that this even happened?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was different. And it was kind of, I feel like there at the hospital that I went to, they were kind of dismissive with it anyway. So it wasn't something that I was pressured. Yeah, because they was like, oh, you had a wild night. And I'm like, I feel like I've been drugged. So that's what you consider a wild night. Their approach was different versus what Venus's was.
And with me, first off, when I got there, I don't think it ever crossed my mind. Maybe I was just so out of it still that the humiliation of the rape kit itself didn't hit actually till like they started doing it, because I realized how invasive it was, and I was still like, I'm not even sure. When I got there, she asked me a couple times, like, what do you remember? Do you feel it? And I'm like, I don't remember. I don't know. My pants were wet. I peed myself. I am grown. And I was at a house. There should have been no reason for me to pee myself. Like, at all. It wasn't like I was bar hopping. It wasn't like I was out with my friends. Like, no.
Mm-hmm.
And she pushed it. She's like, I just need you to know. She's like, do you want it? I think it's better if you do. And I was like, yes, I don't care, do it. So then she just told me, she's like, the cops had to be called. She's like, so don't get scared when they come. And, at that moment, I'm not sure if I was so much out of it that anybody else, nobody else crossed my mind but me. Like, not the person that I'd been dealing with, not the person that I had been dealing with, not my friends, not my like, nobody else crossed my mind but me. And I guess that's the selfish in me, that I didn't care about anybody else but me. But that never crossed my mind. Later on, when they started doing it, and when the cops came, I guess maybe I was a little bit more present.
Mm-hmm.
But even at that, she kept pressuring it. Like, she pushed it. And, like, the way they walked me to the room, like, it felt like I had 10 bodyguards walking me to this room. They wouldn't leave me alone. And everything was just moving around me. And I'm just like, give me something so I can stay up. Just give me something so I can stay up and I don't have to throw up. Like, that's all I wanted at that moment. And I remember asking you where you were at, but I don't know why the receptions at the hospital are so bad.
It is. You can't hear anything. I'm like, they don't want you talking when you're at the hospital. They want you to remain quiet.
Yes, like, because I do remember, I think when we spoke on the phone, you were already there.
Mm-hmm. And
you did tell me how your coworker had told you that you're like, it looks like you've been drugged. And at that moment, I was like, okay, if this person is saying this, like, maybe I need to go. Like, I really, really need to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember asking you, you're like, I keep throwing up. I don't feel good. So I'm like, how are you throwing up? Because I'm throwing up black. Mm-hmm. And you're like, I'm throwing up black too. And I'm like, there is no way. We didn't eat the same thing. We didn't even drink at the same time, if you think about it.
No, at all. There was no time that we got together at all.
I drank before you, and by the time we got there, I was passed out. So there was no reason for us to have these similar symptoms, the same symptoms, for us to have not been together at the same time.
Right. Yep. There definitely isn't. Like, there's no rhyme or reason to it whatsoever when it comes down to that. Like, no.
And I feel like, I remember, like, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go to the doctor. My whole thing was that, like, I'm going to be there all day, like, just because I'm a little sick. And I don't know, something inside of me told me, like, you need to go. Like, you need to go. And I don't even know how I drove myself. I remember driving. I remember I passed, like, I was like 5 minutes away from the doctor, and I was like, I'm almost there. But you're right. It was like such an out-of-body experience. Like, I'm watching myself, and I was like, I'm almost there, just park, and, like, even if you don't make it, like, somebody will come out and get you.
Right.
Like, just make it there, park. And, like, if you need to crawl there, because I had never felt that feeling where my brain wants to stay up and I can't. Like, usually my brain and my body both want the same thing.
Right.
And
Exactly, yeah.
this time around it wasn't, and I kind of wish that I was like, I should have gone where she went.
And at that point, I still feel like I went too late because, I mean, it was a while of me throwing up before I actually went. So
think about you. I didn't go to like 4:30, 5 o'clock.
I think it was like almost 2 when I got there.
So
It was still because even by the time we got there, they was like, well, it's only going to be in your system for like 30 minutes anyway, 30 minutes to an hour at top. So it was still too late at that point.
It was. I think even if we would have gone right when we left, I think it would have been too late.
It still would have been too late, yeah.
Because I'm not sure how this leaves your system, but I mean, I was pissed on.
Yeah. And I had threw up, so yeah.
And I know it was my pee because like the way I was wet, it was like my pants. It was not like up. It was my pants. It was everything. And I was just like, how did I even pee myself? Like, who pees themselves? And it wasn't a like ha-ha story. Like, it would have been a ha-ha story. It would have been like, guess what happened? Like, I had to pee and I couldn't make it.
Exactly. I couldn't remember.
I couldn't even remember having to pee.
Right.
So I'm like, how do I not remember having to pee? Like, that is something you feel.
Right.
I don't remember having to pee. And I'm the type of person that if I need to pee, I want to make you stop. Like,
like, I need you to pull over. Exactly, yeah. The fact I felt like I couldn't talk, like I couldn't form a sentence, like that was within itself. I've been drunk before and still can't talk. Like I may, when I get, drunk or something, I'm loud or something like that. But the fact I could not communicate, like I couldn't answer something as simple as pick up the phone on a cellular to push the call.
I remember that. Like I looked at my phone and I would watch it ring and I couldn't bring myself to even pick it up. Like, and I wanted everybody to stop calling me. I was like, why is everybody calling me? Like, why did everybody just choose today to call me, to look for me? But I mean, now that I stay here, it's just that there's people that you do talk to every day. Like, I talk to you every day. I talk to my best friend every day. I talk to the person I'm dealing with every day. So for them to be like, okay, you're not answering, and it's during the week. Like, it's not even a weekend to where, like, oh, maybe she went out and she's tired. Like, you should be at work right now. You're not even answering to be like, I'm busy. I'll talk to you later. Like, I was just gone out of it. Like, completely.
Yeah, it was definitely. I wouldn't wish this on anybody to feel the way that I felt, like so completely out of control of not being able to like have no control of what I was doing or anything, like just almost lifeless because I could barely move. Like it was insane. Like I needed help to walk. Like,
the fact that you went to work, and then not only did you drive yourself to work, you drove yourself to the hospital?
No, my niece took me, because I could not make it any further. No. Yeah.
Just the simple fact that you went to work.
Yes.
I remember trying to go to work, and I'm just like, I just have to make it there. Imagine if I would have driven to work, because it's like an hour and a half.
Oh, my God, yeah.
I don't think I would have made it. And I'm glad that I, like, caught myself. Like, before.
That could have been an accident.
Yes. Before I'd done something special, I'm like, I can't do it. I was like, I just really wanted my bed. And everybody wanted me to go to the doctor at that time, but I'm like, I can't. Like, I can't. Like, even if I would have taken an Uber, I can't. Like, I just really want to sleep. I'm like, let me sleep, and once I wake up, I'm going to feel fine. And you're going to, like, see that I'm fine, and you're not going to worry about it. And it didn't happen like that. Like, I was throwing up when I had nothing to... And here's the funny thing, because I ate. what I was throwing up, I wasn't even throwing up the food, because usually if you're hungover, you'll throw up the food.
Right.
You'll throw up whatever. I was like, it was a clear substance, it was black, and then it turned to almost like bubbly, pus-like stuff, and it was so tasteless. Because you know how usually, like, it's the acid in your stomach comes up, so you can still... It was so tasteless where you wouldn't know that I threw up. Mm-hmm. Because it was so tasteless, and it's like, how am I not throwing up the food?
Right.
And I ate, like, the day before, I had, my boss had brought, like, rice, and I ate rice. I ate a bag of chips. Like, I ate enough to where it should have been all in my toilet. Mm-hmm. Nothing. It was just this liquidy, like, it was like a pus-like substance, and it was like black.
Like a foam or something.
Yes, it was like foamy, and then if I would drink water, it would come right back up. Yes.
Yeah, it definitely, yeah. It was just really crazy. I don't understand. And then I think the biggest one, me being really concerned, was because I'm like, you are the party girl. And I'm like, if she can get up, she can go out to 4 in the morning and still get to work at 7 o'clock, like, hey, I know from a couple of drinks, there is no way for you to be passed out like that. And didn't make it to work the next day, there is no way. Like, no. And that's why I kept calling, like, okay, she's not answering. This is not normal. Like, normally she would have got home, get changed or whatever, and been headed to work. And the fact that she didn't answer definitely was a red flag. The fact of how I woke up that morning when the sun was coming up, I was like, no, this is not me. Like, I've never been the one to blame anything on the alcohol. Mm-hmm. Like, absolutely not. Like, I know what's going on. I'm aware. Like, I haven't been to the fact where, no, you know. So
like, I don't remember what happened. Yeah. I was that drunk. Like, no.
Right. So it's like, this is so not right at all. And I knew, like, this isn't right.
Yes. I think that's also what kind of, if it wasn't because I spoke to you and then my ex, because that was a whole relationship going out every weekend. So she knows my drinking habits. You know my drinking habits. Like, I could go all night and I would still go to work and act like nothing happened. Like, I'll be at work like I'm having the time of my life. And it's like, were you just not out like 2 hours ago?
Right.
So she started drilling me. She was like, how much did you drink? So when I'm like, not that much. And she's like, what do you mean not that much? So in the back of my head, I'm like, now calculating the drinks that I had. So I'm like, I had like a drink and a half. Why do I feel like this?
Right.
So then she's like, what else did you do? Did you eat? And I'm like, I did eat. She's like, there is no reason why you should be like this right now. She's like, is there something you're not telling me? And I was like, bro, like, are you serious?
Right.
And then she's like, it sounds like you were drugged. She's like, but who did you go out with? And I was like, we didn't even go out. We were at this person's house. Because one of my last messages on my phone was me sending her a picture of what I was eating. Because I was like, look, I'm eating. Like,
right. I think I got the picture. You're like, come on, like, we got food. I'm like, I just ate, so I don't want no food.
Yes. So I was like, look, I'm eating. Like, I'm good. So she was like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So after speaking to you, I'm like, I'm trying. It was so fussy. First of all, when I woke up, I literally felt like I had fallen asleep for 5 minutes. So I'm like, but I'm not the person to fall asleep. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm just tired, but I didn't even feel it all day.
Right.
And then when I finally like realized how much I had to drink, I'm like, I've never like. There was no, like, way in this life that out of that drink, I should have been like that.
No,
like,
the fact that you slept, like, 5 hours straight like that, even if you were drunk, after you sleeping for you, sleeping for 5 hours, you would have been straight. You would have been good to go. And the fact that you wasn't, and the fact that you fell asleep in your car, and that you still couldn't get up once you went in the house and took a nap at 11, that's right there screaming it's not just from the alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
There is no way it's just from alcohol.
Because when you look at my sleeping patterns from, like, the Fitbit, that's all I sleep. I sleep, like, 5 hours. Like, sometimes I'll sleep at, like, 1, and I'll be like, oh, heck, like, I don't have work in the morning. Mm-hmm. And I still go to work. I still make it to work, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, oh, mm-hmm. But at that moment, I hadn't realized how much I had slept.
Right.
I hadn't realized how, to me, it felt like I hadn't even slept. And I couldn't even remember how much, at the hospital too, they're like, how much did you have to drink? How much did you have to drink? And I'm like, I didn't even have that much to drink. And they're like, it's okay, don't feel bad. And I'm like, I don't feel bad, but I'm like, I'm trying to remember, like, this is not adding up to who I am.
Exactly, and that was what I was saying when I called your best friend. Like, I know, like, we've been out together drinking, so we definitely didn't have nearly as much as we've had before going out. Like, it was not even close. And for us to both feel like we're feeling the fact that she couldn't wake up, no. So it was definitely, like, instantly a red flag. Me waking up that day, like, when I did get up, I knew something wasn't right. Like, instantly, like, I'm like, no, this isn't right. And because the parts that I do remember, like, you know, fighting him off, like, get off me. And I'm like, it's just, like, in and out, like, fuzzy, like, almost like a dream. But then I had the bruises, like, on my arm and then on my face. I'm like, it happened because, you know, I have the proof. But
I don't remember you getting there. When I woke up, I knew you were there, but I didn't know if I knew you were there because I had talked to you on the phone or because I had actually heard you. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I'm like, I have to go, but then I'm like, she's here. But then I didn't see you, and I'm like, she wouldn't leave without me. Like, that is something that I know that she's not
right,
doing.
that's what I was looking around, like, where is she? I know she would not leave. Like, it was crazy. I'm just like, then I'm like, still going through the embarrassed part, like, what the hell happened? You know, it was so many different emotions, like, what happened?
And I think you remember more than I do. Like, you remember a lot more than I do, and I think that's why, like, a part of me, that next day, I was like, no. Like, I'm fine. Like, I'm just, like, I ate something bad. I'm sick. And it wasn't until, like, I really talked to you that I was like, no, like, this isn't right. And I think a part of me was like, because I couldn't remember, I was like, why can't I remember? Like, why can't I remember? Because I am the person that I go out, and I go out with my friends, and I'll tell you everything you did, everything you said, because I used to do it with my ex-girlfriend. Like, she would argue with me, and I'd be like, you said this, this, and this, and she's like, we were both drunk, and I was like, I don't care, this is exactly what you said. And to go to that to like, I can't remember. I don't remember. The last thing I remember is eating. That is the last thing I remember. I remember eating, and I don't remember. I don't remember anything after that at all. And I lost hours. I lost hours of my life where I don't know if it's better that I don't remember or if it's worse that I don't remember, because I don't know if I'm ever going to be 100% sure. In my soul, I feel like nothing happened to me. Mm-hmm. I know that I was drugged, but I don't remember.
Right.
So because I don't remember, I can't say yes or no. All I can say is that I don't know. I can tell you that I don't feel like something happened, but I'm never going to know because I don't remember.
Right.
And I don't know if that's better or worse.
Or worse, yeah. I don't know either. When I talk to, people close to me, they was like, well, you don't remember, so and some people, they feel like it's better to not remember than to remember. But at the same time, it eats you alive not knowing exactly what happened.
Yeah.
It definitely does. And I always think, like, why? Why did you do that? What did you have to gain from that? Like, what was the point? Like, you begged us to come over. You always asked us to hang out with you, and for us to actually come over and you to do something like that, like, why?
That is my biggest thing. Like, I remember telling you the next day because I had already gotten there and I called you and I was like, come over. Like, I felt so bad that I had told you to come. Like, I felt so bad because I'm like, if I wouldn't call you, you wouldn't have been put in that situation. And that was, like, my biggest thing. Like, I was like, I didn't care about anything. Like, and I remember telling my friend, like, the person I'm dealing with, I was like, at this moment, I don't even care about me. I'm like, it's just that I put this person in this situation because I called her. I told her to come. I'm like, and I didn't do it with that intention because I didn't know that this was going to happen. I'm like, but had I known, I mean, probably I wouldn't have gone there. I'm like, but in a sense, if she wouldn't have been there, I would have never gone to the doctor. I would have
passed it off. It's like, oh,
yeah.
it must have been something I ate.
I was like, and even if in back of my head I knew, maybe I would have never said anything because you're right. Who is going to believe me? Who is going to, like, say, yes, this happened? Because
hell, they doubted us already. Like, oh, did you go over there willingly? Like, so had you been over there by yourself?
Yeah, like, why were you over there by yourself? Like, why were you, you know, it was so different because you were there. And I think maybe that is where I grabbed my strength because you were there. So I was like, no. Had I been there by myself, because of the place that I just came off, like, the relationship I just came off where I was doubted and I was always asked and I was, like, doing this, doing that, that in back of my head would have been, like, that's what, if the person that, like, I was with forever is asking all this, like, what is the other person that has nothing to do with me gonna think?
Right.
Like, and I can't even answer your questions because I don't remember. I can't tell you yes, no. And I think that was so frustrating at the hospital too because they kept asking me the same questions and I'm like, I don't know. Like, and I remember like almost crying. Like, I was crying and I was like, I don't know. I don't remember. So, like, whatever you're going to ask me, I already told 10 other people that, and I told you too. I don't remember. Like, I don't remember, and I was so aggravated because I didn't remember, and I was like, how do you not remember? Like, how? How does this happen? Like, how does this even happen with someone that you know?
That's the worst part of it. That's the most hurtful part of it. Somebody you trust, like somebody you see on a regular basis, but to do something like this, it's like, how can you? Like
you have to look at me every day. To this day, to right now as we speak, you look at me every day. You pass me at work, and not in the back of your head does it go like, damn.
Yeah. Nope. Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like if he felt like he didn't do anything, then he would have said like, hey, well, why are you guys acting different? Why don't you say anything to me? Why do you avoid me? But it never came up, like nothing whatsoever.
No, because he messaged me that day too, and he's like, I guess their boss was mad because he was late. He's like, last night was late, and I didn't answer. And then I was like, I told him I was sick because I was sick, and he's like, oh my God. That was his response. And he's like, are you coming in? I'm like, I'm trying. And after that's when I talked to you, and I didn't. He's like, I thought we were gonna party again tonight. And I was like, you're at work? Because I'm like, how are you at work? And I'm dying.
Exactly.
And I remember saying, like, you're at work? And he was like, yes, I get out. And he told me what time he got out. And I didn't answer, but when he got out, he called my phone. But I was at the hospital. I didn't tell him I was at the hospital. I was just like, I don't even know what happened, but it helped me understand how you're at work and I'm not. Like, because I feel like I'm dying. And in a sense, we drank the same thing. We ate the same thing. Like, that is the one person that I've had everything with.
Right.
And you're fine. But the one person I didn't even drink with.
Right. And not. Exactly.
And, I mean, it's just, like, I guess I'm still angry, like, sometimes, like, when I see him at work, I get so angry.
Mm-hmm.
And other times I don't care. And other times I'm just like, why are you still here? But I guess that is the world that we live in, where boys will be boys and they're going to stick together. So we have to stick together. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you're not going to run me out. Like, and I'm hard-headed. I am very hard-headed, so.
Yeah, it's just, this is the messed up world we live in.
It is. It really, really is. And I guess this is one of the biggest reasons why we're doing this, because boys do stick together.
They do.
And they just push us to the side and make us doubt each other, and they make us go against each other.
Yes.
And it shouldn't be like that, because if you go through something like this, you shouldn't feel like I can't talk about it. I can't say it. And I'm not saying that it's going to be cute and easy and simple and that you're not going to get doubted. You are. Mm-hmm. But if we don't start talking about it, we're not going to see a change. Like, we are not.
Right. They try to alienate you to make you feel like you're alone and you don't have anybody. And that's when you just have to rise above it. And, you know, if this happens to you, you have to speak up. You have to tell your story. That's a part of healing. You have to speak on it. Mm-hmm. That's how you get through it.
Whether you reach a friend, and I know sometimes your friends might not know how to help you, because I think we're with that mentality, like we hear it, we're like, it's never going to happen to us, and it's never going to happen to someone that we know. Mm-hmm. So maybe your friends don't exactly know how to react, and if you are a friend, sometimes we don't need a feedback. I just need to like let it out, and I'll keep going.
I just want to vent to you and for you to listen.
There are groups that you can reach out. There's I know here in Chicago alone, there's one in Pilsen. It's called Mujeres Latinas, where they will like you could call and they'll like search therapy. I know the advocate that came. I have her paperwork. I have to look for it.
I have a couple also. Where I can
you know, if you want to reach out to us, we're here. We're more than willing to listen, to try to look for help for you for wherever you are. If you really don't want to talk to anyone and you just want to send your story just to let it out,
yeah, just email us.
Just email us. There's always the National Sexual Assault Hotline. I can't speak. They also have a chat available, and the number for that is 800-656-4673. And do you want to let them know where to reach us at?
Yep. You can always email us at girlslikeus619@gmail.com, or you can follow us on IG at _girls.like.us. Either one of those ways, reach out, DM us, or email us.
Yes, and this will be all for today. Until next time.
Yes.
Once again, make sure you check us out. You follow us. You stay tuned to us. I'm very excited about this.
Yes.
And until next time.
Yes. Thanks for listening to Girls Like Us.
Yes. Bye.
Welcome to Girls